Welcome back, everybody. Hope you were all doing well again today. In a Scroll of Taiwu, we are headed to the way station, which in turn will go from there and get to the village and, well, pick our item and get to building, unlocking, and all that kind of fun stuff. But before I forget, I need to put some people on to help us out. Let's see here. You good? You're good. Let me go through and check everything. Equipment good? Any relics? No. So that's all good. And yeah, our beast there. No, that's fine. Key. Do I have any new? Yeah. There we go. Maybe I just didn't see it. I know it said it was there. I just didn't notice it. Whatever. It's okay. All right. We need to stay away from that. So. Nope. Go around that. View the way station. Yeah. Okay. Whoop. All right. The horse carriage cost 200 silver. Ox cart, 100. As an additional 100 silver for Bashu or Suhang. Hero, transporting goods or traveling. Just as Hawk was about to turn and leave, a carter skillfully called out while stepping out of the post station. So, there are still people here. Yes, we have it. Although the place is in ruins and most of the villagers have fled, this way stations passed down by our ancestors must not be abandoned. Wonder, where are you headed, hero? I'm about to head towards Taiwu village, but I'm unsure of its location and where to look for it. Taiwu village? Carter murmured, circling around Hawk, inspecting him from top to bottom several times, then continued, that's quite unusual. Well, we guides never ask about past matters. Hero, you pay me 1,000 silver, I'll take you there. How's that sound? 1,000? Be that Taiwu village is located that far away? It's not exactly close. It's just that, well, the journey is rather treacherous. With towering mountains and perilous waters, Hero, it's up to you. Aside from me and this way station, there's no one else who can take you there. Now, let's convince him by haggling. They're all talk, but there's no real gold or silver to back it up. I'm fine. It's just boring just sitting here anyway. Let's see what you're going to say. Boink. All right, some carpentry. Let's go with that, and that. That we do. Where's it? We'll do a 5er there. Oh, he got to deploy there. I forgot that's his location. Oh. I'll get this one though. Put you there because we'll get to recover the majority of it. I thought it said all strategies attached to it. my goodness. We'll put just a 6 there. Rolling it up there where he's on the... He's hurting on that, so he can't really deploy any power. It doesn't matter our power, we just got to get somebody there. All right, one more to go. Can I force you to concede? All right. Okay, actually makes sense. Then, let's set off. I hadn't traveled this road with my uncle when I was 6. No one around here would know the way to Taiwu village. Hawk appealed to the carter with both reason and emotion, causing the carter to waver. Not realizing it, he agreed to Hawk's request. Oh yeah, I forgot. Click on that. This one takes a while to load. The journey by wagon was bumpy and treacherous. Hawk, bored out of his mind, dozed off in the wagon. After what felt like hours, Hawk awoke again to find that Carter had abandoned the wagon and rode off on the horse. What a shady Carter. He dumped me in the middle of the road. I wonder how far it is from here to Taiwu village. About that far. Which we're going to hand do part of this, just in case we run across into anything I would like to touchy. Okay, so we're going to run out of stuff anyway. All right. Wait. Boink. Sparring requests. I'll agree to the spar. Why not? I mean, I'm more than likely going to get my clock clean. Well, the stats aren't too bad in her favor, but I still have a feeling we're going to get my clock cleaned. Yep. I need to do some healing. We'll get out of this too. I'm gonna have a lot of healing like we need to do. Ow. Well, good thing I want to do some grinding on this map before we get too involved, because I'm going to have to be fetching herbs to heal everybody. Like her leg is almost gone. Slow her footwork down. The thing. almost. Nice. Butter. All right, we got some prestige. I lost. You did. All right, what are we reading? Leap. Verdant sword art. Let's see. Music. Wei painting. Wei culinary arts. You know, for now, let's do that. Turn that off. Because that's the bet. Oh, wow. All right. 120%. Jeez. All right. That looks like a nice number. Okay. Tick, tick, tick. It's food. If that wasn't food. Ooh, all right. Might be a fine wooden bracer. Do I have bracers? I do not. Guess what? I do now. Metal it is. Will propose to duel. Sure, you're definitely not going to win this one, but okay. Why am I still in? I got a lot of cuts and bruises. I mean, at least she's trying to get some practice in. As soon as you come of age, I'll get you some gear. Just tell me what you want to learn. Ooh, maybe musical instrument. That could be a good backup. That's gonna be it. No. You shouldn't have any objections to your feat. Smile gently pulls Hawk aside, saying, I've heard a few things going around the martial world lately. Huh? We need to heal you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, where? Wait, what? Did I kill her? I didn't want to kill her. We were just dueling. Oh, nuts. There and there. Did I at least get her gear? You could at least given me her gear. All right, Hawk looked over and happened to see around 5 or 6 swordsmen escorting a prison cart, fighting with a wounded, reckless man. I'm not gonna lie, I know what I'm gonna pick on this simply because of the early access. So, leading swordsman shouted, "You mad dogs from the Lion Face clan! Why have you been following us all the way to Taiwu village? What are you up to?" The wounded, reckless man just responded with a sneer. "It was you, Swordsmith Villa lots, who were trying to waylay me. Come at me if I dare you. I have nothing but my muscle." Messy fight and cursing went on. Despite their great numbers, the swordsmen could not gain the upper hand since the reckless man kept on attacking the prison cart and caused chaos in their formations. Well, for a time, the swordsmen were unable to deal with the reckless man. We'll watch quietly. We don't need to get involved because just as Hawk was lying in wait and cover, preparing to observe the situation quietly, a terrifying roar suddenly erupted from the prison cart Swordsmith Villa disciples were escorting. With the fully enclosed cart, it seemed that there was a ferocious beast ramming continuously against the cart door. Upon seeing that, the Swordsmith Villa disciples their faces all turned ashen gray. They all scrambled back to their prison cart despite the enemies near them, and each pulled with all their might on the steel chains to tighten and secure the cart door. Hawk looked over at the prison cart and was stunned by such a sudden, terrifying scene. I found the imprisoned beast to have tremendous strength, and it was by no means normal. Moreover, the growling was weirdly both human-like and unhuman. Moments later, the situation changed drastically. Suddenly, the turmoil inside the prison cart came to an abrupt stop, and the surrounding safety fell deathly silent. Well, after what felt like hours, Swordsmith Villa disciples were finally able to exhale in relief and collapse to the ground in exhaustion. The wounded Lionface clan disciple, he had already fled somewhere amidst the chaos. After a short respite, Swordsmith Villa disciples regrouped and continued escorting the prison cart to the Taiwu village in silence. Okay, there we go. Let's get some backstory. Surroundings were absolutely silent and still. Upon entering Taiwu village, Hawk clearly saw a familiar figure swiftly entering the ancestral temple of vermilion hue within the village. It was my foster father. Hawk hurried into the vermilion temple, yet the trace of foster father was already gone. Soon, an old lady came out of the ancestral temple. "Greetings, Granny. I don't know if you've seen an elderly entering this place." Upon hearing someone call to her, the old lady hesitated before replying with a smile. "Just call me Granny Fing. Eyes have dimmed with age, and my ears aren't so good these days either. So, hero, are you just asking a blind person for directions?" However, Granny Fing continued immediately, and Taiwu Ancestral Temple is just a tiny place. Well, take a look around. Perhaps you could find the one you're looking for around here. So this is the Taiwu Ancestral Temple, right? Did my foster father ask me to come here and return to my root? What are you talking about? Before Hawk finished, Granny Fang exclaimed in a trembling voice as if struck by lightning. "Turning to your roots, this is Taiwu Ancestral Temple. Could your family name be Taiwu? How could this be?" "Oh, my foster father did not, my foster father did ask me to take Taiwu as my family name. Foster father? What foster father? Anything paced back and forth, agitated. Doesn't matter for other surnames. You just take any of them as you please, but Taiwu, only Taiwu. Try to take advantage of me, hero. I may be old and confused, but don't you dare come and tease me. Granny Fang spoke. She suddenly stood still and chitted sternly. Since you call yourself Taiwu, show me proof then. All right. All right, my foster father did say that there's one thing that could prove my identity, and I hand her the hilt. Is this? Received the hilt from Hawk. Felt the engravings on the hilt again and again. Looking sometimes overjoyed and sometimes mournful. That's right. That's right. It's exactly the same. Granny Fang muttered, and 2 streams of clear tears slowly flowed down her age. I guess technically after the first bit it would. And her wrinkled cheeks. Go with me, she said softly and turned around, walking to the back of the hall. Hawk followed Granny through the tiny corridor of Taiwu's ancestral temple to a spacious open ground. There was a total of 16 giant stone steels here, and the largest of which was inscribed with the giant characters Taiwu. The word was written in just one stroke. Its handwriting was so mighty, powerful, that it didn't feel like the work of a human. And the big one. The stone steel inscribed with the giant word Taiwu was over 10 meters tall, jet black in color, and the material and weight impossible to discern. But the more Hawk looked at the word Taiwu carved in the steel, the more he found it similar to the handwriting in the letter by foster father. And the others? He looked at the 15 surrounding smaller steels one by one. The name of various sects were engraved atop. Shaolin, Jade, so on. Below the names, the steels were densely packed with smaller characters, and all of them were names of people. To understand the meaning behind the steels, please enlighten me. Pertaining to the name as Taiwu served the greater collective, even to selflessness. There was originally no surname Taiwu in the world. Fang leaned against the steel and sat down, recounted with details. Hundreds of years ago, most, if not all, the world suffered from Jiangsu. You could even say that it was an age where the mortality was no more. Everyone in the world suffered, where the wails of sorrow were everywhere and where the world was in chaos. Back then, there was only one person who knew the arts to banish Jiangsu, yet this person was born weak in physique and disease-ridden, unable to fight Jiangsu for long. Therefore, the great sects of the world gathered here, each sharing all their secrets and arts to their fullest. In the end, the person transformed as if reborn anew and successfully drove away Jiangsu. The person called himself Taiwu. That was the ancestor. Let's see. I know most of these are easy, to understand. Here we go. Why did the person not teach everyone the way to banish Jiangsu? Don't know why. I don't know much either. Perhaps the arts are so peculiar that ordinary people can't learn them. All right, where'd he go after the banishing? I'd like to know that too. Ever since his big fight with Jiangsu was defeated and fled, lurking in the dark. Taiwu, he disappeared along with them too. He died in the battle too? I mean, these steels here must have been built by the great sects back then. At that time, all sects discussed the matter together and decided that each of the sects would pass on their arts to our Taiwu ancestor. However, the sectarian views among them ran deep, and even in desperation, they would not easily pass on their sect unique arts to outsiders. Thus, the ancestors of Taiwu made an oath to them with the steel as proof. They shall never pass on what they have learned to others, even if it was to their own kinsfolk or descendants. Only when Taiwu was about to die and Jiangsu had been vanquished, they seek out a successor capable of inheriting their arcane arts. And the successor, having received the legacy arcane arts of Taiwu, must also adhere to this oath. With the divine sword as the verification and the strange vision as their proof, they would dedicate their life to ridding the world of Jiangsu. So the successor was known as Taiwu. Yes, now you finally understand. There is only one Taiwu in the world. Predecessor dies, and a successor comes forth with anomalies and a sword. Then Granny Fang got to her feet and placed the Fuyu hilt into the steel slot, or slot on the steel. They fitted together perfectly. Hawk looked stunned and stupefied. And we know about all this. Yeah, we know all that. All right. What you've just said was strange and bizarre. I really don't know what to make myself believe of it. Fine. It is indeed true, and I cannot persuade you with my words alone. Come with me. Do not be afraid of whatever you see afterwards. Hawk followed Granny until arriving at the stone house in the back mountain of the Taiwu Ancestral Temple. There was countless nameless graves around the stone house, and a prison cart sat nearby to the stone house. It was the one that Hawk saw outside the Taiwu village. However, the chain on the wagon was released, and it was simply empty inside. This is it, Granny Fang said, pushing open the lower door of the house and went in first. Hawk went into the stone house and saw a human body bound by dozens of jet black iron chains atop the giant boulder in the middle of the house. The human's face was ghastly and contorted, and they seemed to have boundless strengths. Even struggling by them could cause the thick chains to form deep grooves in the boulder. Hawk immediately realized that this must be the beast that was previously imprisoned in the prison cart. Is that a human or a beast? The person was originally a disciple of swordsmith Villa, who only turned mad because of Jiangsu and became this fiendish husk. Why did that Jiangsu do this to the people? Granny Fang shook her head. I don't know. Jiangsu was the source of all evils and the cage of all thoughts. Perhaps he just loves to watch people in madness and suffering. Or perhaps when more and more people fell into the corruption, he could only return to the mortal world and bring about endless calamity. So you're truly a Jiangsu in the world. Well, this whole story about Taiwu is not fabricated. We will know if it's real or not once we test it. Granny returned the Fuyu hilt back to Hawk. She then kneeled and bowed thrice to the west and said to Hawk, "Hold tight to your sword. Embrace the heavenly secret. Close your eyes. Sink deep within the tranquil void. Cast off your dream of the worldly bother. We are all born of suffering, which none may escape its grasp. See no self within oneself, and behold as our fiends fade with all our selflessness light." Okay. Pete.
All that has form is bound to suffer.
We have voicing.
None escape the net of illusion. To see me is not to see me. For where the self dissolves, no demons remain. The true teachings are subtle in every word, yet strike deep into the heart.
All right, so that's just them. We close our eyes and meditate on the following mantra. It's just read to us. For what felt like hours, Hawk slowly opened his eyes and found themselves lying on an earthen bed with a thatched hut, or within a thatched hut. Taiwu is awakened. Taiwu is awakened. While Hawk was drowned in confusion and puzzlement, the voice of a girl suddenly sounded from the outside window. Before long, many villagers flooded into the thatched cottage. The girl hurried and reached the bedside first, smiling as she looked at Hawk. Who are you? And who are you guys? How did I get here? I'm Shuangjun Ning. You saved the swordsmith Villa madman at the back mountain and then passed out too. We don't have a doctor in our village, so we can only bring you back here to rest. What about the madman from the swordsmith Villa? Well, after being cured by you, swordsmith Villa madman cried and bowed to you on the ground so much that their head was bruised. Then you passed out and everyone's busy taking care of you. So, well, no one knows where the madman went. There's Granny Fing. I still have so many things I need to understand, so I want to ask her something. Granny Fing? Who's that? There's no Granny Fing in Taiwu village. Shuang Jun Ning looked at Hawk with wide puzzled eyes. You know, Granny Fing from the Taiwu Ancestral Temple. Having heard that, Shang Jun Ning snorted out a laugh. Taiwu Ancestral Temple has been dismantled by the bad guys many, many times. Of course it wouldn't be here. What on earth is happening? Please take me to the Taiwu Ancestral Temple. Well, soon after, the villagers brought Hawk to the ruins of the Ancestral Temple nearby. And looked around and vaguely recognized the surroundings here. Well, the 16 steels within the ruins and the stone houses surrounded by mounds at the back of the temple remain. Well, the vermilion temple had become an aged ruin. Hawk was stunned and bewildered. Let's ask him what happened. Let's see. All right, so we placed the fragmented stories together. Long time ago, an old man came to the village claiming the successor of Taiwu would soon return. Then, Hawk indeed arrived in the village, declaring themselves the Taiwu successor, and alone using the Fuyu hilt to restore sanity to the swordsmith Villa disciple affected by Jiangsu. In the return of Taiwu's mystic arts and the rebirth of the ancestral lineage, everyone rejoiced, but soon after, Hawk suddenly collapsed. All right. Seeing that Hawk was at a loss, Shuang Jun Ning quietly tugged at Hawk's sleeve and whispered, I've heard from old people in our village that there's an ancient tomb somewhere unknown outside the village. Inside the tomb lies an immortal who knows everything. Have any questions? Perhaps you could go ask him. Fortunately, I've heard that the immortal does not like children, she said with a dejected face. I don't really want to give her a rebellious thing. She'd kind of like that. So we'll go with mine. An immortal attains enlightenment through universal love. There's no chance that they would dislike children. Yeah, she changed. All right. You're right. The immortal hated everything, then he couldn't possibly attain enlightenment. Near that day, more and more folks of the marshalling worlds wander in from nearby villages, towns, and sects. After hearing the words of Taiwu's return, people were visibly overjoyed, as if Jiangsu would soon be vanquished. Oh, not that soon. With everyone's support, Hawk naturally took on the mantle of the new successor of Taiwu, and thus naturally became the new master of Taiwu village. However, while the successor had returned, Taiwu's ancestral temple remains in ruins. The villagers could help but feel saddened and dejected. I came to this place following my foster father's instruction. Did not know I was also carried the expectations of many. Perhaps this was what had been plaguing my father. I'm waiting for my foster father. Perhaps I should start rebuilding the ancestral temple so that I won't besmirch the name given to me. Here's the items to do it. Yep, dispatching. The village is now unlocked. All right. And then now we can go boom. Okay, once we get the story progressed to rebuild the way station, then we can get the world travel unlocked. All right, so now this will start out, well, kind of as is. You'll always have the village, you'll always have a residence, and you'll always have a storehouse. Not fully upgraded storehouse. We'll need stuff to upgrade it. Everything else on here, the size is fixed. That might change with difficulty. I don't know, because I've always played on normal. But the stuff out here is, what it is, where it is, level it is, random. Ooh, we have an Evergourd. All right, so we need supplies so we can build. And let's see. We'll build this stuff down here. Start clearing out down here because we'll need supplies. Your money and prestige. That can wait. Yeah, we'll take you. But we need weeds. Is it 2,500 of everything? 500 of everything. Well, no, hold on. So it's 500 of everything. That'll be easy enough. Oh, I can't see the other stuff yet. All right. But I can use it in there. So let's get rid of that. 19 ruins. So we got 19 ruins there. I think this is purely for, getting rid of stuff. So let's quick there because it'll give us prestige. Let's get you cleaned out. We got some more rubble. Get you. And we'll use a bulk of this stuff to get things cleaned up. All right, so we've got 130, 65, 140. What is this? Got 35 food stuff. So we're not making metal. We're not making jade. This requires building, so I'm not concerned. Well, and so is the regional favor. Is other stuff, but these will take. We'll have to get a training hall down after we're allowed to. Ancestral unlocks all the buildings technically, as long as we have the ingredients and the. Some of them have rare core items we'll need to get a hold of. All right. Can't believe we lost her in that duel. I'll have to remember from now on just to... You want a duel? No. Are you sure you... No. But we could... No. How about one time at... No. Okay. Now. Just in case I wasn't sure, as you scroll around and look, you'll see sometimes... like herbs there, it's got a line on it. If you go to those places and specifically, and you'll want to do it one at a time, search for herbs, there's a chance that you can get a rare... Oh, did we get it? That's not it. I mean, we got a good drop, don't get me wrong. However, there's a event that can trigger. And sometimes we can get by with more picks than just one game. Come on. Oh. What is... Oh, the merchant. Okay. Because I think was it the wood? We could get some kind of weird tree acorn or something. There'd be like, you see pictures of like mountains and blah, 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 and there was like multiple options. Fair enough. But we're here. You know what? Everybody likes cricket duels. You want a cricket duel? I got stuff. I like XP. You like food? People like to eat. Sounds good. Get them. And we win. Right, we get some favor with her. Do I have 3 left? No. Do I have any left? No. Oh. All right. Sparring request. No. No, I do not want to kill you. I don't care if you get upset or not. It's not happening, little one. Like the efficiency. So that should be cleaned up in here. Dispatch. How about we put you right there? We can spare that and spare that for now. I'm going to try. I know the item I like in here, so I'm going to purposefully do my best to not explore. You'll see why, as long as they haven't changed how the item works, of course. If they have, then this, or we'll take some. Oh, hold on. Which one was it? Herbs. Much as I want to go in there after that sword, I ain't doing it. I forgot. Do I need to heal? Just making sure. Because that'll give us our aspirations. What about you? I got extra energy. Do you like cricket stuff? I'll take the prestige. Cricket combat! Alright. No one's there. We'll go here. This way we can start getting not only stuff, but it'll allow me to get them a lot happier and faithful. And that makes the work go round. So we got that. There's a lot of people right here. We can't talk to the baby. Can't move, delighted, sure. Like crickets? On duel? XP. I guess technically I could have had people clearing more stuff, but I don't want to. I guess the sooner we do it, the better, though. Got you. You're kind of happy. Well, you're neutral. 13, 36. Go talk to the other kids and tell them how cool I am with my cricket duels. We're a hip Taiwu. Nice. All right. That, and that. I can't do the rest of that. I can't do anything there. All right, let me... get that out of here. I know I don't have what I need. I just had to look. Toxic swan. All right, so that's not the snake thingy. There. So we got a 1. Do we have a 4 on that? A 3 snake there. Ooh, a 5. Fertile land. Another toxic. Ooh, a 4 beast. Do you take the still thingies? Yeah. Is 4 the best on our ancient tree? 2. Okay. Because they don't, whatever's the highest, it's only the ones. So. So we can clear this whole little section out right here. Uh, 10 idle. All right, let's just get all the ruins first. I mean, that's just money and prestige. We can't do anything with 3. It takes, or 2. It takes 3. All right, so we'll just burn the 2. That's fine. Swear if you're asking for, resting. All right. Who? Glad I had it. All right. Let's do something. Anything is better than just sitting around. Feeling restless and wants to debate with me. Okay. About... Ooh. I missed my buddy. What in the world is that? Mindset rebellion. Let's see. Higher the favorability with Zong. Higher the chance when a contestant enters a square affected by this effect. It transfers the square or the opponent's contemplation. You'll probably go there, get that, but I'll get this. Oh, it moves you to a random place. Oh, that's not good. All right. Hold on. Oh, geez, he's actually pretty good. It's not good at all. All right, you're getting an 8. He's gonna get that. He's all right. Ooh, we're finally starting to push back. All right. I'll keep that pressure on you. I just got to get 3 more in there. Oh, that's holy boy. Oh, we got you. Ooh.
Through the joint efforts of Taiwu and the villagers of their town, the Taiwu clan ancestral hall has finally been rebuilt. As the incense burned steadily in the hall, the villagers seemed to find once again the courage and hope they had lost, rising with the clear smoke that drifted from the temple to the celestial clouds.
See, I suppose it was destined after all. The ancestral temple indeed looks exactly the same as the one I saw in the dream. After performing a simple rite, Hawk climbed up to the highest expanse near Taiwu village and looked down to see the village in ruins and desolation. Idea involuntarily arose in the mind. Well, now that I've called myself Taiwu, of course, I shall reside here. Now we've rebuilt the ancestral temple, we can certainly rebuild everything else here too. Once that thought arose, the spirit burns bright and mighty. When Hawk looked over to the village again, a vision of a bustling and prosperous village immediately appeared before his eyes. I seem to remember seeing the village. What do we want to specialize in? Sutures and steels, toys and antiques, or arts. Help our cultural education with them. We could attract and nurture many talents. Herbs and cabinets and tools. Prepare medicine with them. Maintain great health and cure the wounded. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Any credit? Let's go with the herbs and whatnot. The word is treacherous, and everything brings ill omens. Then there is also Zhang Shu lurking in the dark. I am but a greenhorn starting out in the world. Wonder when I will find my foster father, and what about my future? See if I can bring, well, again, since it's not really anything pressing, we'll probably stick with my normal. See if I can bring everyone a world of harmony where they can live and work in peace. I shouldn't wish for anything more. That sounds like a good one. Seagull flew astray, chasing the waves. Yet, by a boulder it met its end, plunging deep in dark waters. I have no wings to soar high above. Still, I dare say that this night stretches as long as the daylight. Okay, so we got that. I'm not going to worry about the epiphany. Let's get some fine arts. Is this the music? Make we. Oh, I didn't have to take that, did I? I already knew that. Because I started out with a medical knowledge. Let's just do the culinary stuff. Wait, what have I got for fighting? Don't just do. Oh, with the epiphany? Yeah, I don't care about the epiphany. Doop doop. Okay. Get that running. First thing is first. Martial arts. Need a training hall because I need this escort agency running. For some reason, I want to say I want to put here because they can be more adjacent. I guess that doesn't really. It's fine. We got you there. I don't have any of this core stuff because that's always I always have to buy that. Oh, pastures. Just for cooking for what do we? Let's see. Food stuff's not too bad. Wood, stone. Hold on, do we have... All right, yeah. Culinary gemstone. Crafting, no. Come on. Of course, this stuff we don't have. So no, and I can't do you until we get the other up. Do literature, right? Well, I don't want to go too fast. I don't care about the painting. Oh, medical arts. Expansion structure for the alchemy lab requires villagers to work, sells concoctions in return for silver. Doctors can be dispatched as keepers to lead disciples in studying that. With the core material rosewood cabinet, which it gave us. An expansion structure to the lab requires the villagers to work. Allows you to find individuals with outstanding medical art talents. Oh, so expansion structure requires workers sells concoctions in turn for prestige. All right. Well, we could get the basic of those and that. Culinary. Do I have you? Merchants can be dispatched as keepers. Increase efficiency, which characters study orthodox books. Let's see. Fashion hat for the main street requires villagers to work, host gambling games in return for silver. So basic. Store. Up to those. Your food. We got a lot of food, so let's do that. I mean, we're not in a huge rush to make sure we can store all that. What? Whoop. If I remember right, that it just pops up after a while. So. But while I'm here, fight for some experience. Okay. Because I don't, if I remember from their last episode, we don't need to really do that. Hopefully you'll drop some gear besides just the experience too. I like the background. That's a ankle thing, right? Yeah. That. Physical defense, key defense with a little bit of other stuff. That works for me. Oh, I missed the earth. All right, so this has got some jade. Nope. Jade. Oh, you look like you that was actually a good staff. I want that staff. I think we got your shoulder pretty well lit up. Won't need him. You know, I had to do it during the early access. I need to make little notes about, hey, we're not producing this. What do I need to produce? You know, the stone and the jade. And write down what their two core thingies are, and make sure that when we go near merchants that have those, we buy those. I'd much rather have at least one of each thing being produced, even if it's a low number. As long as we're getting it produced, I'm cool. Ooh, we got some armor. All right. All right. So you're at 3618. That was this. It tried. It really did. I need gear, so I got to do it. Still can't believe we lost our girl to a sparring match. Auto unleash. Maybe? Nothing else. As soon as we get the Elemental blade charged again. We should get... Well, okay, so we got it back. We should get through. Well, as long as we get all the connections. Do it. Do it. You're not doing it. Do the thing. There we go. Yeah. A ring? Anklet. 26, 26. Tea and liquor. 7 and 64. I mean, kind of like the idea of the key defense. And we'll do another fabric. It's been some time since Hawk first heard tales of the legendary Tomb Immortal, though the location of the fabled Tomb Immortal remained unknown to Hawk. Rumors about the Immortal was spreading ever more wildly. Breezes wander, and the way lies for certain. Perhaps this Tomb Immortal is more than merely a tale. So we're good. Music, man, wake we probably. That. Or technically, if you want to, you can just click on the main building and whoop, and here's what we get. All right, so escorting. One would probably be enough for now, in all fairness. 2 would be better. Let's do 2. Hell. Yeah, because that's for that. Have tall. Efficient character study. Unique arts. We'll handle that. I'm not going to explore too far out because it, like I said, that should trigger after a few turns. And then we'll get our first storyline crushing defeat. Keep moving that out of the way. Oh! Is that poison? Oh, the oily thing. That's agility? Yes. Veil Scar. Key arts. Increases the power cap the user's Veil Scar martial arts or... Okay. Nice. So we'll probably read that next. Not going too far out. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I don't know why you're... I don't know. Oh. Weird, but I'm glad you're back. Give me that sword. Wait, what? Enforcer what? Enforcer Kane. Hack. Okay, so better one of those. Ooh. Hander Iron Blade. Should we switch that out? Hack. Upswing. Stab, hack. No key penetration. We'll leave it for oh. Yay, we got a girl back. I feel better. Don't you go. We're not doing any more sparring. I mean, I could technically end the match before it gets too nasty, but tries to swindle Hawk out of a bronze furnace. Today, she suddenly approached Hawk and chatted with Hawk. When Situ quoted a lot from the classic, seemingly trying to lecture someone, turned out they wanted to persuade Hawk to gift their bronze furnace to them. Doink. Oh, the weird thing. Oh, you didn't go here? Then we can get that back. Oh, you're doing all the things I don't... Wait, where... What? Rabble. Quit doing the backing up. Now, she's a pain. Put a... Just a 6. Coming for you. You hold me back, but once we all start pushing through, because you're running out of points, and I'm... Yeah, what are you doing now? We're coming. And then that goes through and we win? Yep. Your move. Why is your favorability? Oh, whatever. Here with this. Was overwhelmed with Hawk's talent and knowledge and rendered speechless. Finally became shocked and disheartened and left vomiting blood. Why did you become egocentric? Nah, I don't want another debate. Tomb Immortal came and went with Taiwu. Now the successor of Taiwu's return, the Tomb Immortal might be returning soon too, many people said. As if it was the truth. Seems that the Tomb Immortal is related to Taiwu too, no? Maybe. I don't know why I'm doing that. You. Don't have any conflicts, do we? Right. Let's build a closer bond. Oh. Good. Right. At 12. Is there anybody here? No. You're depressed. You know what would help you feel better? A cricket duel. That'll make you feel great. It'll make me feel great. This will be our last one. We'll gladly bet you a cheeseburger. Or technically, I guess that would have been a cabbage burger. And oop. Time for the... Is it a landslide or something? Earth... I don't think it's an earthquake. Ah. So yeah, landslide. After a heavy rainstorm, the falling trees and landslides, an unmarked ancient tomb suddenly erupted on the hillside edge of Taiwu village. Local villagers, seeing the unique style of the tomb and the eerie air about it, all kept their distance in fear and awe. This tomb is peculiar. Should it be where the tomb immortal resides? Oh good, we're right near it too. Before we do... Oh. Wait, hold up. All right, so we don't need anyone in there. We need people in here. Dispatch, so we get the best. Now we can start making some money. And this will make it to where it keeps them rolling. Okay, so we got all that rolling. Good. All right, now, I need this button. Right. No. Or is it? First name assigned as a steward, leading assistant to manage, operate. No. That's right, we need up here. Beast Peak, Everspring. Alright, right. Increases, let's see. Constructing with living stone as the core material. The core material can also be used to cultivate a stone ridge. Increasing its resource production. Stone ridge provides metal and prestige. All right, so we need living stone. So we need to shop for living stone. And gemstones. Okay, all right, so uncut jade. All right. There's our little shopping list. There. Oh, okay. There. All right. So we're doing the picking thingy. Yay. All right. Slowly Hawk walks into the ancestral tomb of Taiwu village. Now in this place, one can see the smoke rising, presenting a scene of bustling incense offering. Moreover, the relics and garments of past Taiwu are displayed on the sacrificial altar, receiving the worship of the people. On closer inspection, Hawk sees an empty space in the center, which is presumably reserved for the placement of the most important item. What should be placed here? You know what I want? You. All right. So, Taoist and this. We will get key regulation. We'll increase our root bone at the start of each month and improve the recovery. The higher the Taoist seniority, the greater the increase and recovery of the root bone. Yep. And then we get repel evil. Trigger a character's latent corruption. Then perform an evil repelling ritual. Higher the Taoist seniority, the higher the rank of characters that can be purified. And the greater prestige is gained from a successful ritual. Now, we're getting to the good stuff. When saving or eliminating, that's important, or eliminating a bewitched, based on the pure essence, gain a certain number of celestial runes. These runes can be consumed to enhance abilities, available once every 9 runes. They serve a critical role in overcoming heavenly tribulation. Well, what could that be? Oh, here we go. When final tribulation is used actively, tribulations will be triggered at the next turn of months. Crossing each tribulation will consume 99 of those runes and add a post-tribulation trait. Now, several runes will be granted based on the number of crossing tribulations each month. When the final tribulation is crossed, all past tribulation traits will be cleared. So we lose them all. However, the character will be reverted back to the youth, with the current age returning to 16. So we could be like 60, 80, whatever. As soon as we get through that one, we go, whoop, we're 16. So if we get good enough, and we're fighting that stuff, we might be able to stay on Hawk the whole time as long as we can keep him alive. Henceforth, the character will grow 1 year older only every 3 years. So 3 years to everyone else is 1 year to me. Character can recross the tribulation and reverse the youth. So then, after the first time, technically it becomes easier because we have more time. Yay. Each relic embodies a path, walks the former Taiwu. Does this one change? Yes, it does. Their forms and uses differ, but all represent a chosen aspiration. Placing one at the center of the sacrificial altar marks the first step toward an aspiration. Each aspiration grants different strengths and unique abilities as the journey unfolds. Whoop. 3 pure bells is a relic left by the successor of Taiwu who once pursued the aspiration of the Taoist. As Hawk touches the bells, a whisper from the past seems to echo. A Taoist sets up altars, performs rites, calls spirits, and banishes demons, surviving many trials. The Tao Qi endures eternal. Using the 3 pure bells grants a large one-time boost to Taoist seniority. Gimme. Operations are now unlocked. Yep. Find the spirit, nurture the soul. Beyond this truth, there is no goal. Mortals speak in riddles deep, and countless hearts in wonder weep. Hawk spent years mastering the art of key cultivation. Now, whenever Hawk enters meditation, mind grows tranquil, unshaken by distractions, absorbing the essence of the universe. Tang Shu threw the world into chaos, where light and darkness intertwine. Wow. Something demon, ghosts, and restless spirits run rampant. The wind howls, the storms rage, and malevolent forces wreak havoc. Hawk shall follow the mandate of heaven and walk the path of the Tao, thus harnessing mystical arts beyond mortal reach. Perform rituals, summon divine soldiers, and dispel evil, bringing blessings to all. That's the one for that. You turn that on. Yup. Now on this one, yeah, and then we turn that on. Yup. Are you done? Look like you're done. Music, culinary arts. Let's get some culinary arts, shall we? Not using the others yet, so that's fine. Fine arts attainment reaches 200. Okay. This should be where we meet our old buddy. Ancient tomb emerged from the side of the hill. Rock and dirt around the entrance appeared sharp and smooth, as if someone had shaped it with purpose. Ancient tomb was built in unknown white stone. Its pristine condition seemed like it was built yesterday. Devoid of any weatherings and molds, the wall of the tomb was filled with strange drawings, seemingly harboring formidable power of the occult. Drawings on the wall are grouped in patterns of 7. It appears to seem to mimic the disposition diagram. Flipped on its side, that being said, the dispositions diagram is meant to enlighten the mind and accentuate one's temperaments. Yet the diagram on the wall filled Hawk's heart with a void of uttermost despair. Just as Hawk was becoming entranced in the drawings, a strange voice rang out in the tomb depth, crying for help. All right. And our buddy, Hawk searched inside the ancient tomb for a while, long before the one crying for help was found, and burst forth from a small opening in the tomb, but became trapped by falling boulders, pinning him down to the ground. Hawk was shocked to find that the person crying for help was a wooden dummy. So you're the thing who's been crying for help? Yeah, remember Immortal Zhao? Wooden dummy raised his head, smashed its right hand to the ground, and yelled angrily towards Hawk. What do you mean, thing? I am alive, and I have a name. I'm 10 times older than you. How dare you address me with impudence? No respect for your elders? You not see the seal above my head and my parasol morphling? I'm an immortal being, and you should address me as such. I've never seen an immortal before, so how should I address you properly? The dummy slightly nodded and mumbled. I cannot fault a mere child like you for not knowing my name. Mortal Zhao raised his wooden claw and began stroking its chin as if brushing a patch of non-existent beard. You have a long way to go before you're worthy of bearing witness to my name. When I followed the King of Qin on his voyage to the east, I was addressed as Immortal Zhao. You may call me such for now. We'll just go with my basic stuff. Yes, Immortal Zhao, I'll rescue you at once. Your words please me, good child. Before we talk further, help these old bones out of here. All right, we moved the stuff up, helped him up. Ouch, boy. Did you come here alone? The old man didn't come, Immortal Zhao asked in a low voice, climbing out of the stone pit. Old man, I came alone. Excellent. The old fella didn't come? That's just perfect. I must say, you are certainly a chatty boy. You actually managed to displace the immortal sealing stone. I applaud your abilities. Much I love to stay and chat. I must really be going. If our paths ever cross again, I shall repay you your aid handsomely. Hold on. I still have many things I don't understand. Please, I'm in search of answers. Spare me the endless words, boy. What do you want of me? Spit it out. Let's do this because it will help Zhao understand. My foster father's been missing for a long time. I implore you to help me find him with your boundless divination power. He nodded before shaking his head again. After a few moments of pondering with his fingers pinched, he shook his head at Hawk. Said, the secrets of the Tao must not be revealed. Would you know what a Zhang Shu might be? He paused upon hearing the name continuing. Jiangshu takes myriads of forms and is the root of all calamities. It is a being that exists between the boundaries of realms. Not a deity nor a ghost, but its immortality thrives on thought and dies when forgotten. Freddy Krueger. Should it possess and take the form of an evil being, it will begin to deceive the minds of the weak and bend them to its will. Should it run unchecked, then I'm afraid disaster will surely be inevitable. What a nuisance, really. Let's show him the hilt. Did you know what this might be? Who used sword? Little Zhao saw the hilt and he blurted out, "No wonder you were able to remove the suppressing, the good suppressing stone from this old man. So it's true. Here." Remarkable. As he spoke, he glanced around, seemingly very alert and as if afraid of encountering someone. "You recognize this?" "Of course I do." He raised his chin in arrogance. "I know of an ancient Taoist who has spent 10 lifetimes in this world. For each reincarnation, he would spare no effort to forge a sword of unimaginable power. The Fuyu sword is the creation of his 10th cycle. I'd like to hear about it. These 10 swords are weapons with power beyond mortal comprehension. One is as indestructible as tempered steel, but only as thin as a mere strand of hair, while another is a blunted sword, but can slice through its victim's defenses unimpeded as it's cleaving through paper. I could spend all day and night retelling the wondrous tales of these swords. I wouldn't even know where to begin. As with the 10th sword, the Fuyu sword..." "Go on." He opened his mouth but hesitated. He cast a few thorough glances at Hawk as he reached out his wooden claw to feel the meridians on his wrists. "How strange. All I feel is void. That can't be right." He muttered among himself before letting go of Hawk's hand. "The sword in your grip hums with mystic sheen. It has accepted you as its new master, yet you do not command any of the power within the sword. I'm perplexed." "Power? One might struggle, one might strive, but no mortal being can exist beyond the limits of their earthen husks. All your aspirations, fame, and wealth, none escape the fate of becoming dust in the wind. Such is the realization of that legendary swordsmith. To exceed the boundaries set by his first 9 swords, he crafted the legendary Fuyu sword after several encounters. This sword can inherit its owner's mind, spirit, and the power from their years of cultivation. Pass it on to the next wielder. From one wielder to the next, power and wisdom are allowed to transcend the boundaries of time and age in an endless accumulation. The only caveat is that once you infuse yourself with the sword, you will perish. The sword never serves 2 masters at the same time. Alas, lawlessness is but a mere chimera in the panorama of reality. I never knew the sword was so amazing." He pinched his fingers together in thought before continuing. "This sword has served 17 powerful masters up in its past. Can it be devoid of any power?" He pondered fruitlessly before giving up. "You have not attained the power within the sword. There must be a reason. Looks like you have to start things from scratch." He finished his words and turned around to leave. I don't know if... I think Zuner might have been the last one, the tutorial one. I'm not sure. Immortal was gone after leaving the tomb. Hawk felt more confused than before. So many new questions, yet the old ones left unresolved. Though foster father had made many wooden dummies, none of them were like the immortal Zhao. Hawk pondered for a long while, and taking out the Fuyu held again to examine it. Sure enough, there was an extremely subtle glow threading around his fingers and extending straight towards his own heart. The hilt is surely peculiar. or if it would mean a blessing or a bane to me. Yes. All right, so now we got that unlocked. Now here comes the sword tooth. All right. After an unexpected earthquake, 8 enormous sword mounds, each different in shape and form, shot up from the ground simultaneously around the village in an instant. In the midst of shock and terror, Hawk recalled what Immortal Zhao had said previously about the 10 divine swords, and that there may be some vague connection between the two. Strange occurrences often are the signal of presence of evil forces. Before the dust had settled, before the fear had subsided, extraordinary suddenly broke out of the mound and emerged, leaping into the sky. Well, apparently she's hot. Before Hawk could see what the person looked like, dozens of villagers near the sword mound who were fleeing in panic already had their heads severed from their bodies in an instant. Afterwards, the extraordinary growled while covered in blood. Taiwu died. It turned out that the extraordinary was headed towards Taiwu village. Persons slaughtering everyone on their path. They clearly mean trouble. What should I do? Suddenly, the Fuyu held in Hawk's hand seemed to generate a force, constantly trying to guide Hawk toward the extraordinary. Maybe you want me to do battle with them? That's a bad idea. If the extraordinary harms lives, how can I shrink back? I'll stop that person. As the thought crossed his mind, the Fuyu hilt trembled as well, hitting bursts of white light. Here we go. Let's go technically almost die. Emerging from the mound, the extraordinary came before Hawk, muttering inconsistently, Taiwu die. Sure enough, the person had come seeking Taiwu. You have mercilessly harmed the innocent along the way looking for me. What grudge do you hold against me? Or against the Taiwu? Grudges? The extraordinary's eyes darkened as they shook their head and said. Before they finished, they lunged directly at Hawk's chest. Yep. Yeah, this is one of those we can't, we're supposed to lose this one, and oh boy are we gonna lose this. Oh! She got a fox. She got 9 to, oh my goodness. All right. Hawk was struck in a vital spot by the extraordinary and fell into a pool of blood. Seeing Hawk near death, the extraordinary instead slowly sighed. Hawk was at death's door, clearly beyond the hope of recovery. The empty void in the chest deepened. Limbs grew heavier and heavier. Memories of life with their foster father in the valley kept flashing and flickering before their eyes like an unceasing slideshow. Father, it's like I won't be able to wait for you to return. Right at that moment, a gray silhouette came flying from behind Hawk from afar.
A wooden puppet toppled to the ground, landing right before Taiwu, and struck the earth face first. A talisman was affixed to its head and made its transformation from a phoenix tree, like a celestial being descending to the mortal realm.
Mortal Zhao. Damn it. You've trapped me for hundreds of years and still you won't give up. Hey, you're asking me to my death again. I knew from the start you wouldn't just stop at that. Mortal Zhao staggered and struggled to get up, muttering curses to himself under his breath and not stopping. See, as he cursed, he stretched out his wooden claw and jabbed it over 10 major acupuncture points on Hawk Taiwu's body in an instant. Hawk only felt the body growing colder, yet a warm, comforting key arose from the heart. As long as the heart meridians remain unbroken, there's still a thread of life. Mr. Immortal, of all the fiends, why'd you have to pick a fight with this Zhang Shu? Immortal Zhao sighed and cursed, yet he did not hesitate, turned around and engaged with the extraordinary right away. Spirit never rests and the key flows on its own. When Hawk opened his eyes again, only their own breath remained. Rampaging extraordinary was gone, and yet the scattered wooden fragments soon came into Hawk's view. Mortal Zhao's remains were scattered everywhere. Mortal Zhao, could he take down the extraordinary together with him? As soon as Hawk thought this, their hearts suddenly welled with emotion, and they suddenly felt faint and dizzy. In a daze, even the time itself seemed confused. Mortal Zhao took Hawk's blood soaked Fuyu hilt on the ground and fought with all his strength against the extraordinary to the death. It was a fierce fight where countless pieces of his body were broken off. There in the end, eventually he managed to defeat the extraordinary, only after receiving help from a girl whose appearance wasn't clear. Zenner. Alas, I was too late and brought about this tragedy. Hawk was dazed. A familiar Buddhist chant suddenly came from somewhere close. Old monk and a young monk came running. Turned out there was a Shishifu and his young monk Hawk had met when leaving the valley. Thank goodness, Shishifu leapt forward to support Hawk's struggle. With a gentle force to the back, immediately steadied their chaotic breathing. As their breathing settled, Hawk sat up and could not help but sob. Grandmaster Mortal Zhao, he tried to save me, and good. Shishifu nodded and continued. Your life hung by a single thread throughout your escape from death's door this time. Now, you must calm your spirit and meditate. Do not try to disrupt your inner breathing again. After he finished, Shishifu asked the young monk beside him to continue taking care of Hawk. Then he bent down to carefully examine the scattered remains of the Immortal Zhao one by one. And with that, Hawk's inner breathing finally stabilized after a while. Shishifu inquires about the cause of the matter while gathering Immortal Zhao's remains and piecing them back together in a human form. Grandmaster, being who can't live or die, Shishifu shook his head and said, after that, he bowed to Immortal Zhao's remains with his palms pressed together. Can't live or die? These Mr. Immortal here harbors great powers. Power to possess a wooden dummy is even a rarer sight. With their unique arcane arts in the world that can transform an object to a human, or allow one to possess others. But there seems to be something else peculiar about this Mr. Immortal here. Seems he was bound to another life. They are bound together, tightly, and in beneficial symbiosis. In that case, he could still be saved. I do not dare make empty claims about whether he can be saved. However, those who are bound together may find it difficult to face death alone. The Immortal sacrificed himself for others. Fate will surely reward such a virtue and may grant him a glimmer of hope. Yet we have no idea where this glimmer of hope lies now. On hearing this, Shishifu closed his eyes and said nothing. He merely shook his head. Only after a long while did he press his palms together and tell Hawk, So have we managed to cleanse one of the 8 sword mounds here today with the sacrifice of a mortal here? Remaining 7 mounds are all treacherous and perilous themselves. I'll go and investigate them. At least the people of this world come to harm. Well, please go and seek refuge now. Is extraordinary related to Zhang Shu? Oh, so you know many things about Zhang Shu. That's right. The extraordinary that broke out of the mound is likely a morphling of the fiend Zhang Shu. Okay, how should I properly handle the immortal's remains? Wait here in silence for the moment to come. The sword mounds came to be with me. The extraordinaries chase after me. Mr. Immortal died for me. I'm afraid I had no choice here. All is determined by karma, and none shall be spared from it. You have already stepped into the cycle of reincarnation, and indeed you have no way to evade from the fate. However, lives of many others holds no fault. If you would be so considerate, please ask for help from others to guarantee your ultimate success. Asking help from others to guarantee your ultimate success, huh? There was no time to lose. Soon, Shishifu quickly went with the young monk to each of the sword mounds. Upon hearing ask for help from others, Hawk's mind couldn't help but recall the large still established by the various sects to the ancient temple. We'll go with the normal one, benevolent. Even if the sects cannot offer assistance, I must still warn the people to prevent further harm to the innocents. Now, if you made up your mind, we should not hesitate in our actions. However, Taiwu village has been isolated from the outside world for so many years with so little contact. Yet the sword mound crisis is also ever imminent. We cannot clear the staging posts between Taiwu village and the different regions. I'm afraid the distant help won't be able to make it in time. Our first priority now should be fixing the way station of Taiwu village so that we can send out messages to the outside world. What is that? Oh. This is nice. I like that. Can we fix it? Nate Fox, Nate Soul of Yi Yahao. So I guess maybe out of them, whenever you play, because I thought it was different in early access, a random one wakes up. That's neat. Repair the station. All right. We've done pretty good today. We're going to stop right here because it's been a long one. Then we'll get that up, and before we head out, we'll get this done, of course, the way station, so that can be unlocked. But we'll explore this map, get some gear, get some experience, and of course, get some stuff built while hopefully, I guess first, we've got a good chunk of money. We'll head up to once we get this done, of course, we'll head up to the merchant here and see if we can buy, what was it again? Either or both, a living stone or an uncut jade. So that way these can be pawned up, because even if it reaches its maximum and I start losing my resources, I mean, one, I can build another storehouse. Two, I'd rather have too much of it and lose a little bit here and there than have to be out here sending people or spending my precious energy to do it myself. So until next time, I hope you have a good day, good afternoon, whichever the case might be. But until then, I shall see you all on the flip side.